Hey y'all, it's Diane with Shawcraft One, my old barn door, and I didn't think I was going to have time to do any live videos, but I'm working on these custom journals, and I thought, you know what, I'll just go live and do it live. Why not? So, before I get started, let me just go over here to my laptop and make sure I can see what's going on, so that I can pull it up and make sure I can see y'all's comments and stuff. Oh, well, let me mute me. Mute. Hey, Julie, how are you? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Julie. All right, let me see. Okay, I think I've got... Okay, so it looks like I'm about 5 seconds delayed again, so it's a little weird, but that's okay. Hey, Ann, how are you? Hey, Ann, let me ask you a question. On my book sale live video, were you Sandra Dudley something? Hey, Julie. Hey, Teresa, how are you? You should be getting your book any day. Okay, Ann, I was wondering if that was you. I still have your book that you wanted from the book sale, so I think it's still in my Etsy. So whenever you get ready for it, I think I've got it reserved for Sandra. So is it Sandra or is it Ann? Hey, Art in the City. Now, tell me what your name is. I think it's Kay, but I'm not positive. I don't want to call you the wrong name. Okay, it's Kay. Good deal. You prefer Ann. Okay, perfect. That's what we'll call you then. I can even go in there and change it to reserved for Ann instead of reserved for Sandra if you want me to. So I had told everybody that I was going to show myself, or I was going to do a live video of me doing the cover of Teresa's book. Well, I got in a hurry and totally forgot. So this one is Selena's. Oh, thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. So I thought that I'm working on Selena's book now, so I thought, well, I'll just go live and show them me decorating this one instead of Teresa's, because I've already mailed Teresa's. So, and I thought I would show you guys. I'm not going to show you the sewing part, but I'll show you how I put pages together when like when they're not wide enough for my book. See if I can go through here and find one. Okay, so here's one. So I didn't want to fold this page sideways. So instead of folding it sideways, what I do is I will take a little bit of glue. Hopefully y'all can see this okay. And I just glue the two pages together a little bit, enough to give me room to go down the middle and sew. And then I just take my sewing machine and I sew all the way down the middle. Okay, Sandra. Well, we will call you Ann here because we're friends, right? So anyway, I sew down the middle, and then I just kind of look for a good place to crease it. And then you're able to put the page in the book, you know, and instead of having to fold it in half this way, then you can make it 2 pages and they're still upright pages for your book. So that's how I do that. I've had some people ask how to do that. And then, uh-oh. go to work. Sorry about that, guys. Thank goodness I'm off today. All right, so what else was I going to show y'all on this? I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew the book together first. So I was trying to make, you know, and I'm not real sure what size I use. It's, hang on, let me grab them and see if it has a size on it. I'm not real particular, honestly, on my needles. Here's the needles that I use. And so I guess these, look, y'all, I am not a seamstress. Hey, Laura. Oh, are you working, Julie? Oh, that stinks. Well, I have to work tomorrow, so I just kind of craft in between shifts. But anyway, I'm not a seamstress. I don't know a whole lot about sewing. I don't know a whole lot about sewing machines and needle sizes and all of that. So here's the needles that I use. I'm trying to get it to focus. And as I break a needle, I just pull out another one. So honestly, whatever this one is the size needle I've used on this. So that's kind of how I do that. I'll put those back. So I'm making the template to punch the holes in my spine of my book, and I'll also use it to put the holes in all of my pages. So basically what I do is I just take a piece of graph paper, and the reason I like to take the graph paper is because it has the lines, and that helps. Laura, her name is Kay. But anyway, it helps to be able to keep it, it keeps me in line as far as where I need to put my holes and mark my lines. So basically what I do, and as you can see, this is the template that I use for Teresa's book, but this spine's a little bit smaller. So this spine is so long I couldn't find a piece of graph paper long enough to fit it. But the good thing is the paper that I have here has the little blocks in it, so I'll be able to know where to put my paper. So anyway, I take my graph paper and I just fold it in half and give it a good crease. And then according to however many signatures I have, then I fold according to those signatures. So I have 3 signatures for this book, so I'm only going to need 3 creases. So I can crease here. I just take this to the middle. Let me make sure I'm to my middle. And I crease here. And then I crease this one to the middle. And that way I know that they're evenly spaced. So if you fold it all the way up, you have something like this. So then what I do is I'll fold it back out. And let me move this out of the way. I fold it back out and I find my creases. And I'll take my ruler and darken my lines on the graph paper so I know I'm in the right crease. Whoops, that wasn't very straight, was it? It's a left-handed thing, y'all, I promise. We're just not straight people. Okay. Alright, so, and then here is my third one. And we're just going to go down here like this. Okay. So that lets me know where each of my signatures will sit in the spine. Alright, then what I do, in order to find the middle, I'm just going to fold this piece of graph paper in half. That's going to give me the middle hole for my signature. And then I unfold it, and then I don't like to go all the way to the middle because to me it leaves too much of a gap at the top and the bottom for your top stitches and your bottom stitches. So I'll just kind of fold kind of halfway, and that way it only leaves, you know, 1.5 inches or 1 inch or so at the top, so you don't have your pages flopping. So I'm going to fold there, and then I'm going to fold there. I know this is not real explanatory. I hope y'all can understand. If you're right-handed and still can't do anything straight, well, you know, left-handed people are like famous for not being able to cut straight, not being able to. I worked at a restaurant one time when I was real young, and the guy wouldn't let me peel potatoes, and I said, why? And he said, well, because you're left-handed, and I learned in the restaurant industry a long time ago that left-handed people are heavy-handed, and they will peel away half your potatoes. And he's right. Alright, so I'm just going to take and darken these lines. And this way I will know where to punch my holes. Alright, so y'all can kind of get an idea. This is going to be the grid, so I'll punch a hole at each intersection. So that'll give me 3 signatures and 3 holes for the pamphlet stitch on each one. I like using the graph paper too. It just kind of, it makes it a little easier to kind of keep up with where you're at. I know, nobody likes floppy pages, Julie. Alright, so then what I do is I'm just going to lay this down in here, and it looks like I'm going to have like 2 blocks at the top and 2 blocks at the bottom, and that's going to kind of guide me as to being in the center. So then I take my real fancy tools. This is one of those little knee boards that you use in the garden. And I'm going to put my knee board up under this. Let me make sure I've got it in the right spot. And then I just take it's just a push pin. And I just push through the intersection of each of the lines in the graph paper. And that is going to be my guide for where to sew in my pages. And I'll wiggle it around a little bit just to make the hole big enough to be able to get my needle through. Now this will make your hand tired because you're pushing this little bitty push pin. I think this is the small square graph paper, and it's just the regular little, just a little cheap dollar store one from the Dollar General, I think is where I got it. Either that or Walmart. Okay, so I've got my holes punched in my book, and I think you can see those. So now I know where I'm going to be sewing into my book cover. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each signature, oh, sorry guys, and I'm just going to go through the signatures and make sure that my pages are where I want them. And I usually like to start in the middle. Let's see. Okay, here's my middle. So I kind of like to start in the middle. And you know what? I think I want envelopes in the center of these, I think. Do I want envelopes in the center of these? Yeah, I think I do. Hang on, let me grab some envelopes, guys. Gotta get on my tippy toes. Now the question is, what color envelope? Hang on, I'm looking through these envelopes. Okay, kind of like this one. It's just like a cream colored one. So I'm going to put him in the middle. And that way I can sew him in. And then I'm just going to take my pages and make sure that they're all centered up the way I want them centered. So I'm just going to kind of go through each page and line them up. Now, I don't like all my pages in the very center. Like these, I'll put a little more towards the top because I like it to be off center and not everything lined up. That's just That's just kind of the way I like to do mine. And so like on these, I'm not going to center both of them up. They'll be kind of off from each other. I just think it adds a little more interest to the book. Okay, there's another one of those pages that I sewed together. And then these two. Basically, I do this just to make sure there's not, you know, a page that's just sticking out way off from everything else from the top or the bottom. So just kind of lining everything up. Alright, almost there. Okay, so then I'm just going to take it and just kind of tap it a little bit so that I know it's not going to stick way out the bottom somewhere or way out the top somewhere. You know, just have some kind of random page sticking out. Alright, so then I'm going to take my template and I'm going to fold it in half. And I know that this was the top that I used on the cover, so I'll make sure that I point this towards the top. And you always want to make sure that, you know, you've got all of your pages in the same direction so that you don't have upside down pages. And then here's a neat little trick that I learned a long time ago. I don't remember who I learned it from. I saw a lady do it on a video, and I don't think I've ever even seen another one of her videos. So I don't know if she's even doing videos anymore, but I don't remember her name. But anyways, if you take your signature and you put it down into a phone book, it can be a big phone book, a little phone book, just whatever phone book you have. So if you stuff it down in that phone book, when you get ready to punch your holes in the center, if you punch down through the center of that phone book, it's going to keep your holes in the crease of all of the pages so that you don't have to worry about it going through the side of a page or something. So let's just get this lined up. And I'm probably going to have to move my envelope up or down one way or the other so that I can at least get 2 holes in it. So we're going to move him down this way. Because if you just put 1 hole in it, it's going to be flopping around. Alright. So let me make sure I've got everything lined up. And then you just hold your signature in the center of your phone book. I'm sorry, bumping the camera. Sorry about that. And then I'm just going to take it down through the center and push. And then I'm going to find the other one, the top, where the top hole needs to go, and just push down through the center. And as you go down through the center of the phone book, it just kind of lines everything up. The pressure of it lines everything up. And then I'm going to go down. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a hat on and it keeps hitting the camera. And I'm trying to make sure I've got this pushed in far enough to where y'all can see what I'm doing. Yes, I've sewn pages upside down before too and had to take the whole dang thing apart. It's not pleasant. Okay. So then you push that down through the middle. And then once you've got all 3 of your holes punched, you can kind of open it back up. Pull this out, and then you'll just go to the next signature and do the same thing. So I'm just going to make sure I've got everything lined up. I think I do want an envelope in the center of this one, but I'll put it towards the top since I put the other one towards the bottom. And then I'm just going to flip through real quick to make sure everything's lined up the way I want it. This is a little tool that I got from, gosh, I've had it for a while. I got it from May Made It. And I think it's actually a tool that you use to for vinyl, to dig out the vinyl. You know, like the negative part of the vinyl. But I have an awl, but I don't like how thick my awl is, so I need to buy a thinner one, and I just haven't been able to find one that's thinner. Well, I can't find the awl now. There it is. So see, I have this awl, but you see how thick that is, and it just makes a real big hole in my pages, and I don't really like how big of a hole it makes in my pages. So I need to find an awl that has a smaller punch to it, like this one. This one's real thin, and I like that better. But I've seen these in the I've seen something similar to this in Hobby Lobby. Tim Holtz has one, and it's red and white, I think, and it protracts, so it goes into the base, and then you push a button and it comes back out the base, so that, I guess, to keep you from poking yourself with it. But so you can get different kinds, but this one I like the best. I haven't had the Tim Holtz one, but I like this better than the awl, just simply because my awl is too thick. The Tim Holtz awl. Hey, Melody. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing with this. Just make sure all your papers are lined up, nothing's upside down. Put him in the phone book. And then I'm going to open it up, pull my phone book together, and take my template and go down into the middle. Oops, I'm sorry. I apologize. I guess I need to take this hat off, but I just hadn't had a chance to. I had to go to the post office, and I didn't want to do my hair or my makeup to go to the post office, so I cheated and put a hat on. Okay, so we're just going to go down through the middle. Down through the middle. And down through the middle. Okay, and then we'll slide that out and do the next one. Alright, so here's my next one. Let me go to the center of the signature. Hey, Dawn. How are you? And then I think I want this one at the top too. Put these envelopes back up and get them out of my way, because I have way too much stuff on my desk. Okay, so you just line everything up real quick. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to, I don't know, I got lonely in my craft room, and I was working on these custom orders, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go live and talk to my friends while I do it. So, I miss y'all when I don't get to talk to you for a while. It is hard to get your signature tight enough. You just have to make sure you keep pulling and tugging, and that's what I do. And I'm a freak about it, so I'll pull and tug and tie knots, and I tie it 3 times. And but it's difficult to get it tight enough. Oh, thanks, Dawn. You know, sometimes I get in my craft room and I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to do this. You know, but I consider this my second job. And so it's like, if I was at work, I wouldn't have a choice. So, and this is, you know, this is what I like more than my job. So I'm going to keep going. And eventually, my mojo comes back. No, no, Kay, I tie them three times. I think that's an OCD thing. Because I'm a freak about it. Oh, sorry for bumping the camera. Alright, so we're going to put him down in there. Get him centered up. And poke our last holes. Glossy accents. Oh, you put glue in there, Laura. You put glue in your knot? Oh, bless your heart, Dawn. Okay, very cool. I haven't ever thought about putting glue in the knot, but that's a great idea. I think I missed something because somebody's laughing at Julie. Laura, what you laughing about, sister? Okay, so we've got all of our holes punched. We can get rid of this. Let me find some thread. So I have this little bag of thread here. Look at my... I'm just going to take a peek at this and see which color is going to go the best with this. This is just embroidery floss. And I don't think I have a color that's going to like match real good with it. But I think if I do like the cream, that will look good. Because I don't think this bright green, I don't think that'll look good. And you're going to be able to see the... Oh, so Julie puts glue and then glossy accents. That's a great idea, guys. Y'all sound like me. I'm always panicking thinking I want to make sure my book stays together for a long, 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 long time. So, too funny. See, I don't like that color in there either. I need to go buy some more floss. I don't like that one. I guess we're going to go with this one, but I just kind of, maybe I'll just put lace over it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Or a pretty doily. Because I don't like any of these colors up against that green. I mean, the cream is okay, but... I usually double the thread too, especially if it's a big book like this. I always make sure that it's double. See, this is from the last one that I sewed together, and I had it doubled. And I like these long needles because my hands start hurting, and that helps to make it helps your hands to not hurt so bad. Alright, so... since I'm going to double it, I'm going to give myself a little extra. The long needle I got at Walmart, and they're called doll making needles. I think I have the package somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, it's by Dritz. And see, in here, there's an even longer one. I haven't used it yet, but it's for doll making. So try that. It helps with your hands. Uh-oh, I'm missing something. Julie, did you ask me a question? Yes, it definitely helps with the arthritis because my hands will cramp up and it's not fun. Let me just scroll back up to through my my feed here because I think I'm missing questions. Oh, yes, Kay, I do. Well, this is a gutted book, and then what I did was I cut the spine in half, and then I added my own spine. I made it another spine and added it to the covers of that book that I cut up. Oh, yes, the really short needles will make your hands hurt so bad, Julie. All right, so let's see if we can get this baby threaded. Y'all, my eyes are getting old. I can't see good. And I have glasses, but I have to wear the glasses for far away stuff. So people laugh at me because I take my glasses off to read. Because I guess that's like not normal. But I have to. Alright, so there's my needle threaded, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this for my other two signatures while I've got it out. So that I will have it ready. And I'm not real meticulous on this because if I have excess, I just use it in collages. So it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Alright, so now I am ready to sew. Now y'all, I'm going to go ahead and warn y'all, fair warning, this never goes well when I'm on video. Trying to sew in a signature. I mess up every time I'm on video, so y'all just bear with me. Laura, if your spine is too thin, cut the spine in half. Let me grab a book and I'll show you. Hang on. Okay, so say this is the spine of your book and it's too thin. After you gut the book, which this one's not gutted, but after you gut the book, cut the spine in half. I'll take my scissors and just go right down the middle of that spine. And then once I do that, I'll take chipboard and I'll glue it to each half of that spine to recreate a spine for myself that's bigger. So that gives you a big enough spine to put your signatures in if you want to have more than one signature in a thin book like this and still be able to use the cover. Who's brave? Yes, you're brave enough to do that. I mean, it's a book, and all you can do is try it, and if it don't work, just take it apart and redo it. You cannot mess up in junk journaling. There are no mistakes in the junk journal world that cannot be fixed. So that's why I like it, because I've never been perfect, never tried to be perfect, and this is something that I can do that I don't have to be perfect at and I don't have to be scared of. I use this, Aleene's Tacky Glue, and a lot of it. And I glue the fire out of that sucker. And then I let it dry. And then that's what this is. That's what I did with this book, because this book, the spine was about 1 inch wide. And I wanted a bigger spine. So I cut it in half. And then I took 2 pieces of chipboard and glued them on each side of like when I cut my book spine in half, you know, there's a little flap left. So I'll glue a piece of chipboard to one side of the flap and a piece of chipboard to the other side of the flap, and that attaches the book back together. Then I turn it over and I glue another piece of chipboard on the inner side. Then I put my paper on the inner side and I put my paper on the back side. So you've got a good, thick, sturdy spine. And I think you can kind of see what I'm talking about if you look down. I was trying to see if it'll focus. I don't know if it will. But yeah, see, that's just two pieces of chipboard put together. And this right here, let me see if you can see it. You see this? Come on, camera, focus for me. Let me go down a little bit. This little piece right here is the flap of the book spine that I cut in half. So that's how I do it anyway. Yes, I use that Aleene's glue on everything. Hey, Nan, how are you? You been sneaky at work? Yes, imperfections definitely give character, Kay. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you can't put 4 signatures in a 3/4 inch wide spine, sister. You're going to have to make it bigger. So be brave. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay. So now I'm ready to glue my signatures in. So I'm going to start with the back signature first, because it just always turns out better that way. I don't know why, but it does. So I go backwards. I know. I used to make dream catchers too, but it's tough, especially when you have problems with your hands cramping up. Alright, so I'm going to the center of my signature. And like I said, y'all, this never goes right when I'm on camera, so just bear with me. So we're going through the middle, and I did double my thread because it's a big signature. So we're going through the middle and the middle hole in the signature and the book. And we'll just bring it out the other side. And I always leave myself a tail in the center. And then I'm going to turn it this way and go back through my spine. Hope y'all can see what I'm doing. It's hard to watch the camera and do this and make sure everybody can see, so y'all holler at me if you can't see. Oh, I've missed something. Aw, thank you, Teresa. I greatly appreciate that. And to be put in the same category with Gail is very much an honor for me. Gail is, I don't know if everybody knows, but Gail is my adopted mom, so she's just kind of took me under her wing and adopted me, and we've just become very close buddies. So she decided she was going to just be my adopted mom, and I was cool with that. Okay. So then we're going to go back through. And I usually just do a little at a time on these, because sometimes it's easier for me to see the holes than trying to jiggle the needle around and go back through them all at the same time. So I don't mind, you know, fanning a few pages at a time to get my needle through. And then like on these doilies, they're a little bit hard to get through. So I always try to make sure that I go through a thread with those, just to make sure they get held in there good. Yeah, we got several people that are at work, Nan, that are sneaking and watching. Thank you, Kay. Hey, Candy, how are you? Yes, I believe that sharing is important, and you know, I feel like you can learn something from everybody, because I think everybody does it. Everybody has their own way of doing it. And not that, you know, one way is the right way and one way is the wrong way, but it gives you, you know, more ideas of different ways that you can do it. So, You know, what works for me might not work for somebody else. Alright, then I'm going to go back through my middle signature, and I always just try to tug my tail so that I don't go through the thread, I just go through the hole. And so usually what I do on this is I'll actually go through one page at a time just to make sure that my threads don't get crossed. Hopefully y'all can see this okay. I'm getting there, Candy. I have good days and bad days. You know, I went to my niece's wedding this weekend, so I kind of got a little off kilter with my medicine, and my sunshine was not happy with me because I forgot to take my medicine. So, you know, that affects me. Thank you. This is called Country Kitchen by Cartabella, and I love this paper line. I've already made several journals with it, and I keep making more, so I'm kind of addicted to this paper. Alright, I think I got crisscrossed in my thread, so I'm going to pull that back out and try again. And I've learned that a trick that helps me is if I tug on my tail, like this little tail right here, if I pull it kind of taut, and then if I come to this page and pull up just enough on this page to hold the thread at the bottom, then my needle can go through the top, and that helps to keep me from crisscrossing my threads when I'm going back through the center the second time. Because I have had to take apart so many books and redo them because I crisscross my threads. So that helps me to keep them from getting cross-threaded. Okay, now see, I think some of my threads are crossed, and the reason I think that, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm good. Ooh, you're making a rooster journal? I cannot wait to see that, Laura. What do you mean how do I cover the spine, Anne? Are you talking about after I sew in the signatures? Alright, I'll show y'all another trick that I do, because I have a hard time, after I've done these two, I have a hard time going in at the top for some reason. It just is harder to hold the book to me. So I will flip the book upside down so that I can go in down closer to my hands. Just make sure that you go through the same line of holes in your spine. But this just makes it a little easier for me to hold the pages while I'm trying to thread the needle through. And then I just kind of thread them through. I'm trying to make sure y'all can see and still have enough room on my desk, because I got too much stuff on my desk. Okay, so, and then again, if I find that I'm having problems getting the needle threaded through, then I'll just go one page at a time and thread it on there. And then sometimes, as I'm doing that, it'll go on through several pages, so I can just move those out of the way too. This is one of the reasons why I love the long needle, because it gives you the ability to hold on to the needle. You know, you've got plenty of room back here to hold on to the needle while you're trying to get it threaded through with thick signature. And like I say, these are doll making needles, but they work really well to keep my hands from cramping up. Ooh, you're going to do a 5-ring garden binder. I love those. I'm addicted to those 5-ring binder journals. How to know how wide to make my spine? As a general rule, I try to give myself an inch per signature, because that way it gives me room to fill up that signature, and it allows the person that's going to get the journal to be able to put even more stuff in it. I don't have one I've already mailed Teresa's, or I'd show y'all what I'm talking about. But anyway, it just gives them a lot more room to be able to open their book and journal in it without it being so crunched up because the spine's so little. Hey, Robin. How are you feeling, honey? Oh, that's really cool, Kay. See, I wish I journaled, but I just don't have time to journal. So I spend so much time making journals and working at my other job that I have several journals that I've started, but I haven't worked in them in a long time. I just haven't had time to. Okay, so I'm going to pull this real tight, and I usually like to flip mine this way to make sure, I'll tug on this a little bit to make sure that none of the strings or none of the thread is gapped up in between the pages or in between the book. And then I'll come back and pull again. And then I'm going to pull from here. That way I know it's real good and tight. And then I'm going to just thread this through here. And then tie like crazy. Pull it again just to make sure it's good and tight. And then when I tie this first tie, I just make sure that tie is extremely tight. And then I'll tie it 2 more times. Uh-oh, Nan. Have a good day. You got busted. I'm sorry you don't feel good, Robin. I'm still praying for you to feel better. Hey, Michelle, how are you? I know, Dawn. Finding the time is the hardest part of all, because I have so much in my head that I want to get done, and I just don't have enough time to get all the journals done that I want to make, much less try to journal in one of them. Oh, we're doing good here, Michelle. I'm glad you could come join. All right, and then once I sew this in, I'm going to take a little bit of glue. This is Aleene's Tacky Glue too. I just put it in a different bottle because I like the skinny tip. So I'm just going to glue my envelope shut. And then I will take scissors and open up the bottom of the envelope. And usually I like to use like decorative scissors or something to make sure that, it's cute at the top. So I will take these and just trim off the top so that you can actually open the envelope, since I glued the bottom together. There we go. So now you can open the envelope and you can see the center of your signature inside there. Okay, so now I'm ready to sew in the middle signature. Robin, you make sure you get good rest so that they don't have to put you in the hospital, honey. Dawn, I hear you on the flowers. I love planting flowers and all that good stuff. And I did plant me a little bitty garden with some tomatoes and some peppers and some cucumbers, but that's as far as I've gotten. I haven't gotten anywhere with florals. That's a cool idea, Anne, to let the pictures be your journaling. That's really cool. Oh, I'm sorry, Dawn. That's never fun having to go through surgery of any kind. I'm not sure what you had to have done, but surgery is definitely no fun, and trying to recuperate from not only the surgery but the anesthesia that they used to put you under. Hey, Melody, how are you? But the anesthesia that they used to put you under, it just gets me all kinds of whacked out. I know, Julie. I've got ants real bad this year, too. I'm going to have it sprayed because they just came out of nowhere. Alright, so I'm going through the middle of the second signature. I might have gotten this misaligned, so let me just see. I did. I'm running my mouth. Alright, so we'll fix it. We'll just do it this way. How cool is that, Anne? I was a photographer, but definitely not for the Army. And I was amateur at best, for sure. But I did have, I had a little studio in my house. And I did family portraits, and I did a lot of landscapes. You know, of course, that's where the amateur starts usually, is with landscapes. So, that's really cool. But the anesthesia will mess with you. It'll make you do, definitely make you do crazy things. I bet she does take awesome pictures, Kay. I'd like to see some of those pictures, Anne. Do you do videos? Hopefully y'all can see. This method of sewing in the signatures might take a little longer, but for me, it always just gives me that reassurance that I'm getting them sewn in there the way they need to be, so that they will hold better. So it does take a little bit longer to do it this way, but I would rather do it this way and know that it's right than to spend my time doing it and then it be all kinds of jacked up. So your cat's in the clouds. Hey, that would be awesome. There's a lot of pretty cloud pictures. Alright, so now we're going to go back through the center. And for me, this is the hardest part, is going back through the center without threading it through what I've already sewn through there anyway. So sometimes I can get it to go through multiple pages at a time and do right, and sometimes I can't. It's just, I don't know, I think it's just all according to what it wants to do for the day. See, like just now, that went through the other thread. I'm pretty sure that I do this very unconventionally, but it works for me, guys, so that's how I have to do it. Whatever works best for you is how you need to do it. I think I got that cross-threaded a little bit, so I'm going to pull on this and see. Yep, okay. So, I've got it cross-threaded. Cricket and Trigger, I love the names of your cats, Anne. That's super cute. Alright, so here's a little trick. I got cross-threaded when I came back through that center hole. So I'm going to see if I can hold this book up enough to show you how I uncross them. So I'll go here and I'll try to find where it's crossed at. And I'll pull that piece up and just run my needle back through and see I don't have it through the right one. There we go. Hopefully that'll do it. And I try to pull it back through and see if it uncrosses. And it did. Now it's crossed through another one. So let's pull it back through that way. And I think that that did the trick. I'm hoping. Yep, I think we got it. So you can fix it without having to take the signature completely apart. You don't always have to cut it and start over. If you can tug on it a little bit and let the strings come up, like these little strings come up, if you can tug on it a little bit and see where it's crossed, you can kind of thread it back through backwards to get it uncrossed. Alright, and then I'm going to flip it over and go through the other end. Now, when you have another signature already sewn in, you're going to have to flip that signature up in order to see where you're coming through your spine at. You see what I'm talking about? Hopefully you can see that. So you kind of have to hold this signature out of your way, but I still find that it's easier to do it this way than trying to do it up at the top. And then I leave this signature a little loose so I can pull and tug on it and give myself room to see the holes in the paper so that I know where to thread my needle through. And so if I have to go through one page at a time to thread my needle, I'd rather do that and make sure, you know, that I've got it in the right spot. This one's going to be a little hard to see. There it is. There we go. Hey, Corinne, how are you? You're welcome, Dawn. Have a good day. I hope you get to feeling better. Alright, so pull tight on that one. And I'm going to go back to this one. Pull tight on it too. Just to make sure there's nothing wadded up between the pages or between the book and the spine. Oh, thanks, Corinne. I had a fit over that cowboy book. Was that not flipping awesome or what? I was so excited about that. Alright, so then I'm just going to pull real tight on this and tie him up. I know, I love it. I can't wait to make my cowboy book. I just ordered the paper for it, so hopefully after I do these 3 custom journals and get a couple of other things done that people are waiting on, then I can work on the cowboy one. Alright, so that is the middle signature sewn in. See if I can find the end of this. Candy, are you still there? Alright, now we can sew in the last signature. Uh-oh, I got a knot tied in my embroidery thread. There we go. You quiet today? Do you make journals, Candy? I'm not sure if you make journals or not. I know you have lots and lots and lots of stuff in your craft room. I know you're a shopper like Kristen, but I didn't know if you made journals. Because honestly, I didn't find your channel for a long time because I kept trying to figure out who was this Candy everybody was talking about. And I never could find you because of your name. Just giving you a hard time, sister. Alright, last signature to sew in. Let me find the middle. Where's my middle? There it is. Make sure I've got it pointed in the right direction. I don't want to sew my signature in upside down. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to come and stalk the channel, Candy, and see what your junk journals are that you're making. Are you making videos yet of them? $5 days. That's actually really, really quick to get stuff from China, Corinne. Hey, you know, I have to give you a hard time. Because I would have found you a lot sooner if you would have had your name as, like, I don't know, Candy. I know, we do give her fits about her name. She'll eventually give in and change it, maybe. Oh my gosh. You do not have to be too shy to do videos. I was thinking that you didn't do videos, but you should do videos because I'm sure you make beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yeah, India takes forever too. You got no room to talk about what, Laura? About you're not making videos? You're making some though. You're doing a great job. Yes, she can. Candy can do it. See, we believe in you, Candy. Sometimes it feels like it takes me forever to sew a book together, but I would rather it be a slower process and know that I've got the book sewn together really, really well, because then I can be confident that I can sell a book and know that it's not going to fall apart on the person who buys it. So that's why I don't mind, which I'm a slow crafter anyway. It takes me forever to do something. So if y'all order books from me, just be patient with me because I'll get them done. I'm slower at it than most other people are. But that's okay too because they're good quality books and I make sure of that. So do you have a crazy loud house? Well, you know what? I have seen people who have done videos that have a crazy loud house. Their kids are running and playing in the background, and it is super cute. Look at Johanna Clow, or Johanna Clow. You can hear her babies all the time. Her babies come in her videos, and, you know, super cute little babies. So I don't think anybody would mind that candy. No excuses, sister. I'm not giving you any. See, everybody wants to see a video, Candy. All right, I think I'm missing stuff in the feed. Let me scroll back up a little bit. We would not laugh silly looking at your hands, Ann. Nobody's going to laugh at y'all. Yeah, I absolutely think it's funny if you leave stuff in there with, you know, just a little impromptu stuff. I mean, I've had my dog barking in my videos, my husband talking to me, my son talking to me. Of course, he gets embarrassed because he's like, Mom, I don't want to be on video. Yes, Nan, they are fabric ruffles. I just rip strips of fabric and I make my own ruffles with them. I just sew them right to the page. Yeah, my dog barks at everything that moves, so. Aw, I'd love to see your fur baby, Candy. I have 2 fur babies. Okay. What's the Vulcan salute, Ann? Oh, do I need to ask that question? You have a snake, Corinne? Okay, there's no way on this planet me and a snake are living in the same house together. Nope, not happening. No, thank you, sister. Star Trek. I'm telling y'all, I have seen some funny videos. And it's just fun if you know, all the impromptu stuff that happens on videos sometimes, that just makes it more fun to me. So y'all shouldn't be shy. Just go on and do it. Whew, I just don't think I could live in the same house with a snake. Because if that sucker come crawling up my leg in the middle of the night, I'd shoot it. And he'd be dead, and then my son will be mad at me. Me too, Corinne. I don't like snakes. I don't like rats. I don't like spiders. Ugh. I don't like killing them, but I want them to stay outside. I don't want them in my house. Hey, I love New York City, so I wouldn't mind the background noise. Me too, Ann. Ugh. No, thank you. We'll leave the snakes to you there, sister. Really? I never knew cats killed spiders. I knew they kill rats and stuff. Oh, I know, Candy. I had one in my pool one time. Scared the daylights out of me. And then one night I went out to the pool and I was going to turn my pump on or off or something. And there was a copperhead out there. I wouldn't be going over to see my son either if he had a snake living in the house with him. Of course, my son lives with me, so he ain't having one living here. I'm trying to stay in frame where y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm super slow today because I'm running my mouth and reading too, so it's taking me a bit longer than normal, which, like I say, I'm a slow crafter anyway, so it takes me a minute, but it'll be okay if I just concentrate on what I'm doing. The garden snakes I don't mind. It's the poisonous ones that bother me, which, you know, I don't want a garden snake in my house, but the copperhead I didn't appreciate very much at all. Yeah, definitely don't jump in the pool without looking. There you go. Burn it down. Ooh, see? I have sirens around here, and it still gets on my nerves because I'm a country girl. I'm used to being in the woods, and right now we're not. We're living with neighbors, and not with neighbors, but I mean, we have neighbors. And where I used to live, we didn't have neighbors that could see us, and we couldn't see them. So I loved that. Yes, those diamondbacks are nasty. Ducks in your pool? Oh my gosh, Melody. Oh, I would have freaked out. Everybody in the house would have been up out of the bed if I saw a snake at my front door while I was crafting. I might have to think about getting a cat, Ann. If they're good enough to get all the wiggly things. I had a cat when I was out living on the farm, but he got jealous when my little dog came home with me and sprayed in my house. So he went outside to be a barn cat for the rest of his life, and which he loved it. He acted like he was a dog instead of a cat. See, Robin, I've got chipmunks and squirrels that tear up my bird feeders, and I've begged my dogs to get them, and they won't. I'm missing stuff on this feed. That's okay, Corinne. Them wheels might make you go faster. What stinking cute candy? Yeah, Melody, I would have definitely had my husband open the door and let him out, and if he didn't go out, he would be forced out. Ooh, a water moccasin, and those suckers are deadly, and they're mean. The ducks and the babies was in your pool? Oh, you're welcome, Julie. Thank you for coming. I'm running my mouth and not sewing this book up, y'all. And it's almost 5 o'clock. My husband's going to be calling me saying he's on his way home, so I'm going to have to hurry. Ooh, Jody. You a brave girl, sister. Not me. I don't like nothing to crawl on me. Hey, Corinne, Curtis. I think she's been here a while. It's kind of hard to keep up with who's saying what. It's going real fast right now, guys, so if I don't speak to everybody, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Okay, well, y'all are looking at my ceiling right now. Hang on, let me see if I can figure out how to switch him around. Hang on, guys. Okay, do I have y'all back? Sorry, I didn't realize I went offline. It should be coming back up, Candy and Nan. Okay, I think everybody's back. So, this is the book all sewn together, and I usually just leave my strings on it. So now we have our journal. Okay, now I can show y'all what I was talking about earlier when I was telling y'all to make the bigger spine, Laura. So if you open it up, you know, then you have room for your book to lay open, and you're not fighting with the pages, you know, because your spine's not big enough and it's too crowded. So it just gives it a little more room for you to journal in and stuff. And another trick I do is if, you know, if I need to hold my pages open, I'll take a clothespin and clip them. Clip a few together, and that kind of helps hold it open a little better. So we have it sewn together, and now we need to work on the cover, but I'm thinking I may need to do the cover in a different video because my husband's going to be calling here shortly, and it's going to kick me off. And I don't want to lose y'all and just not be able to say bye. Now, Jody, I can handle the black snakes because they kill other snakes, and I can handle the king snakes because they eat other snakes. But any other snake I don't want around. So you're right. I live in the country too, and I would rather have a king snake than anything. Oh, you don't have to be too chicken to sew directly on the page. It's easy. All I do is I take a strip of fabric. Let me see if I can find one. I think I've used all of... Lucy, you need to go potty? Or you're going to have to hold on just a minute. My dogs are pitching a fit to go outside. I don't have a strip. But anyway, I just take the strip and start up here. And then I just fold it as I go, as I sew down the page. I just fold it in. Did you go back to, did you have to go back to work, Nan? Really, I never heard peacocks would take care of snakes. Now, I like that idea. I'd much rather have a peacock than a king snake, but, you know. Yay, I'm glad, Jody. You gotta go, Ann? That's okay. I'm fairly new at sewing. I mean, I can do the basic stitches. Okay, that's pretty much all the sewing I can do is just the basic stitches. You're in the desert, Candy. Hey, there's always perks when you're the manager, right? Peacocks are really loud. When I lived out in the country, there was a petting zoo little place down the street from us, and we could hear the peacocks. Definitely bird-brained. All right, Ann, thank you for coming. I hope you have a great day. You can do that, Kay. There's nothing wrong with, you know, sewing the ruffle and then gluing it down to your page. I just like the way it looks to have the, you know, where I've sewn on the opposite side of the page. I just like the, you know, it just makes it look more vintage to me. But everybody has their own preference. And it's whatever works for you. You got the spine glued in? Awesome, Laura. Oh, see, let me show you some crooked stitches, sister. See, I like the crooked stitches because to me, I don't like for things to look perfect. So, I mean, like right here, you can see I went totally not straight. But to me, that adds to the character of the book. So, again, you know, it's just basically your own preference, whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah, I sew crooked all the time in my books. See that? No, that's not my sewing. Wait a minute. I'll show you. Yeah. I'm crooked. See, I just don't worry about it. Because to me, it just adds a little something to it. Now, sometimes, I mean, there's some people out there that would drive them crazy and they would not want this book. And you know what? I'm okay with that because, see, this is not perfect. It's crooked. Because I'm just not perfect. So, if you want a perfect book, you'll have to buy it from somebody else because mine's never perfect. Is Selena in the house? Let me see. I'm missing stuff in the feeds, guys. Let me go back. Hey, Selena, she is in the house. Now, that's the one, Kay, to show you how to sew straight. She's going to be doing some sewing classes coming up soon, so be looking for those because she'll be able to help you a lot better than me. Ooh, I'm missing a lot. I need to read faster. This is your book, Selena, that I'm working on. So if you don't want to see it, you'll have to leave the room. Not that I'm kicking you out because I love you and I want you here. But if you don't want to see your book, just close your eyes. You can talk to everybody, but just close your eyes. Put a card or something over the video part. Hang on, y'all. I'm trying to catch up on the feeds. Sorry. Is Hope in the house? Hey, Hope. How are you? Thank you so much for my cowboy book. Oh, my gosh. I love it. I'm way behind. Y'all bear with me. Yes, Hope is the one that sent me the cowboy book. Not too fast. I still have to decorate it. So, I'm usually a very slow crafter. I worked on this last week some too, so I'm ahead of the game. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, Hope. I cannot wait to get started on that book. That cowboy book is absolutely amazing. Oh, Robin, you go lay back down and get some rest, and I hope you get to feeling better, honey. Yes, Kay, definitely go check out the video. I loaded it earlier this morning, and that book is awesome. Everybody say hi to Selena. You're okay, girl. Where were you at, Hope? Yes, the cowboy book is awesome, Candy. I just loaded it this morning, so you haven't missed it. I mean, I just have gotten it uploaded, so love, love, love the cowboy book. See, if my son sees that book, he's going to have a fit if I tear it apart, but I'm just going to hide it until I get the journal made, and then he can chew me out afterwards. All right, Selena, I'm opening your book. If you don't want to see it, don't look. All right, you know what? I don't have to open the book because we're just going to do the cover. Do you want me to just leave the cover like this, Selena? Because I was going to decorate it. It's whatever you want me to do. I will do. This is some of my most